If you use your GoPro around water, you never know, because something like this could happen someday. And that's precisely why you're going to want to have one of these, a floating hand grip. I am Jim. It's great to have you here. Quite a similarity between GoPros and Jeeps. They're both very versatile. They're both very rugged. And if you add the right accessories, like putting a winch on the front of a Jeep, they can just make them that much more capable. And similarly, GoPros are the same way. But if you can add the right accessories, and like a winch on a Jeep, it might just be that little peace of mind that you need when you have your GoPro around water. From SAMETOP, their floating hand grip, I'm really curious how it holds up against comparing it to a similar floating hand grip from GoPro called The Handler. Let's go check it out near the lake. This is the SAMETOP floating grip handle on my right. This is the GoPro handler in my left. Both espoused to be floating capabilities. I've got the GoPro HERO5 on the GoPro handler. Got the GoPro HERO7 on the SAMETOP. And I'm squeezing them just because I want to know whether you hear that. I know these winds make it difficult, but I want to see if it's picking up my squeezing on the handles. And I'm squeezing them just because I want to know whether you hear that. I know these winds make it difficult, but I want to see if it's picking up my squeezing on the handles. All right, so we got similar straps, but the real test is going to be dropping in the water and seeing if they float, and how they float, and how visible they are. So let's give it a shot. In these waves, I don't want to lose them. If you're wondering, this is Lake Michigan that we are on right now, one of the largest bodies of fresh water in the world. So far, looking like they're both similar. I will say the GoPro Handler might be a little more visible. I saw from the Amazon that you can get the same top in an orange or a yellow instead of the blue for a couple dollars more. But so far so good. They're both doing what you'd expect. Now, let's see how they feel after they've been wet. I would say the SAMETOP feels pretty good. The dimples still give me some gripping. The GoPro has a little bit of a slimy feel to it. It's not bad. And then we'll go back in and see if that paper towel I put in there is bone dry as we would expect it to be. Again, let's give these a little chuck in the water again as the waves come. And if the waves take away my cameras, I will regret that. Well, I'm going to take them in and see how the interior held up. Wow. Bone dry, not a drop, and it's because it's got 2 O-rings. Throw a couple bucks in there, boating license, and then if you did drop over, at least you know it's going to float. It's pretty good. The air and the wind is drying it off nicely. I could certainly dry it with a towel, whereas the GoPro, this is a little squishy and wet, and that would take quite a while to dry off. This was salt seawater. This could get kind of crusty and weird, I think, if you didn't rinse it out, and let alone if it was like a river water or like an inland lake that might have some algae or something. This would be harder to clean off, whereas this, you can just spray it down, and look how quickly that's practically dry right now. In fact, it is dry right now from this wind, and this is still really, really wet.